I thank the gentleman from California for yielding time. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize the great legacy of our 40th President, Ronald Wilson Reagan. As I watched some of the coverage of the President's Centennial, I found myself filled with the same hope and idealism that he inspired in me over 20 years ago. During the 8 years he was in the White House, President Reagan faced great challenges, but was always optimistic that the greatness of our country and its people would bring us to a brighter day. A truly one-of-a-kind leader, President Reagan inspired freedom throughout the world and kept the American dream alive and burning brightly for all of us. He reminded us that democracy is a precious gift, but one that is dependent on the dedication of all Americans. He believed strongly in American exceptionalism and reminded us that as citizens of such a great nation, we had a responsibility to be a beacon of hope to all of those around the world who do not enjoy the same freedoms. All of these years later, his ideals still stand true for all of us, and his message is just as urgent today as it was in the past, perhaps even more so. President Reagan is a personal hero of mine, and I want to work with my colleagues to keep his ideals of a smaller government, common sense government alive here in Washington. President Reagan believed that the people of this country are the best hope for the future, not the government or its bureaucrats. He believed that the ideals of self-government that this nation was founded on was one of the greatest ideas of history, and that by giving government back to the people, our nation would become stronger and more prosperous. Like Reagan, I too am optimistic. I believe that our best days are still ahead of us, and that a smaller government that answers to the people will let America thrive again. As we face the challenges ahead of us today, let us remember President Reagan, and with hard work, we can get this country back on track to a brighter morning. I yield back my time.